Hi guys, this morning I went down my boat and took down some essential supplies, some water, tea, sugar, hobnobs, oaties. I'd rather run out of diesel than oaties. Anyway, something I've been putting off for a long time. Here I've got a small bilge pump. The boat doesn't take on water other than rainwater that goes in the cockpit, so once in a while it wants a pump out. But this has been playing me up of late, and I've had these on boats before. Who is it made by? Irish company. Made by Munster Sims Engineering, Bangor, Northern Ireland. They're okay. I haven't had any problems with them in the past, but this one's playing up. So, 4 screws, couple of Jubilee clips. I've got to bring it home in the workshop and investigate. What happens? The diaphragms, like all diaphragm pumps, can go, but this looks alright. But when you push down, it sort of tilts and then jams. And if you sort of put your finger on that end, it'll do a full stroke. So it works, but sometimes it will go, but it's not right. So the geometry here has gone wrong somewhere. Anyway, we'll have a quick investigate. Well, here I've taken the pump apart. That's the rubber diaphragm. Looks alright, feels equally stiff. Can't see anything wrong there. That's the body of the pump. Little flap valves there. I suspect that, oh, it does show. And little tube valve here, that's not too bad. So I'm not sure. What if I loosen off this nut and bolt, the top and bottom clamps, and move it round 180 degrees? Perhaps it's got a bit tired in one direction. I'll give it a try and reassemble it. It's simple enough. It only goes held together with a nut and bolt hand clamp and a little clips that holds the pivot on. Watch when you take them off, they don't fly across the workshop. You never find them till you stand on them. Okay, we'll give it a try. Well, here I've reassembled the pump. It's the second attempt. I turned the diaphragm 180 degrees and it still played up. And if I go slowly, it still tips at the front, and you would think would bind, but in fact it doesn't. If I hold this down, you can see it works okay. So it would appear to be how tired this diaphragm. So I suppose if you weren't a tight so-and-so like me, the answer was to fit a new diaphragm. But I've got a spare one on the boat, but hey, I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of use out of that. So, a quick fix. Next time I'm down on the boat are 4 screws, 2 Jubilee clips. It's in one of the lockers. It's only going to take 5 minutes to fit, so I'm quite pleased with that. I'll just add this bit. I'm sorry, I omitted to tell you how I actually fixed it. I tried 180 degrees and that didn't really fix it, but what's got me to this stage is I turned it about 90 degrees, and on about the 4th attempt, 3rd or 4th attempt, I'm certain that's going to be okay. I don't believe in chucking that diaphragm away until it actually splits. Okay. While I've got the camera running, that little job's out the way. I've shown myself to be a right tight arse. Sorry about that. But I might as well prove it now. The other day I wanted some connectors for PP3, and I know they're cheap to buy, they're 20 or 30p online, or down perhaps, I don't know, perhaps 80 or 90p or a pound in Maplins. You've got to get in the car and go down there, and I wanted several and I wanted to do a job. So, being a tight so-and-so, I got some old batteries. And I thought, well, that'll do as a plug. So I simply took off these are dead batteries, of course. Took that off. Come on. Making a meal of this. And that'll do. Come on, come out. Will it? Keep it in shot. That'll do. Oh, beg your pardon. Right. Pull that off. Tabs from the battery. Oh, hope I haven't got a cold coming. Anyway, pulling off the insulation. There you go. I'm now able to solder to these points a couple of wires, and then that can be pushed onto the other one, and you've now got a plug. But bear it in mind that you've reversed the polarity, because this is now the female part. So put positive on the opposite one that you would have put on there. Other than that, quick, simple little dodge. So rather than chuck all the dead ones away, make yourself up several of those. Gosh, how mean can you get? Alright then, fair dues. You might think mean, but I reckon I'm saving the planet. Put a bit of tape over the end, and I've made half a dozen of these up. Well, I haven't had to get in the car and go and get any, have I? Anyway, that's the silly one. Again, while I got the camera going, I picked these up the other day in a boot sale, and in amongst some tools, and as you can see, it's a little clamp device, and at the end it's got that shape. So I wasn't sure what it did, but if you've got a piece of brass strip here, if I sort of nip it in there, it sort of gives this sort of a jog shape. But that's not what they're for. So I asked the guy, he didn't know. He said it belonged to his daughter. So I've no idea. Any suggestions, folks? I think it's for some sort of seal or something a bit malleable, because on these jaws, on one jaw, there's that capital letter A and then an M in brackets, and on the adjacent jaw it says E2. So it's obviously meant to emboss something. But what? I don't know. Any ideas? Two other mystery items I picked up. The second one is a pair of these. I'll show you one. I think there's no name or anything on this, but someone's gone to a lot of trouble to mill out this slot, and there's a long set screw and a short set screw, and the other one's exactly the same, and there's no name, so I suspect it was made to do a job. But it puzzled me what that job might be. And unless he just happened to have odd set screws, why was that one longer than that one? Anyway, something to think about. Whatever job they were used for, I think I picked them up with a box of miscellaneous steel, so I can make use of them somehow. And the other little interesting item was this. It is beautifully engineered. It's a heavy weight, and it's some form of right-angled drive, almost like a sort of a miniature milling head, from horizontal to vertical milling head. If this turns round, inside there's a kiwi drive that goes round. A kiwi? Do you mean a kiwi? A key slotted drive, and the same at this end. And it's got engraved on there, oil, and the same there. But this is beautifully made, It's so I suspect it might be part of a machine. It's been in the drawer for a few years, and I've never actually found out what I can do with it as yet, but very reluctant to bin it. Any thoughts on that one, chaps? Right, well, just to conclude this little video, because I'm beginning to get into a mega waffle mode. So, to shut me up, a stopwatch, little stopwatch, lovely little stopwatch. Had it for donkey's years. It's, who's it made by? Something Camber and Cuss of London, 7 jewels. Lovely little stopwatch. And someone was in my workshop, and I says, "Isn't that nice?" "Yeah." "Oh," I said, "you don't sound very enthusiastic about it." He said, "Well, just a stopwatch," he says. I said, "Yeah, but it's beautifully made, isn't it? It's a bit of weight to it, and it's nice, I like that." He said, "I can tell you like it," he says. He says, "But old hat." "What do you mean old hat?" He says, "Well, they're electronics now, little battery lasts for years. That thing," he says, "you've got to wind up." Oh, I said, "Give it over," I says. "You've got no soul, man," I says. Anyway, I was, a bit taken back, because I was impressed. I like things like this. Anyway, just to finish this video, I put it somewhere, and it had vanished. And I'm talking about 2 years ago. And I hunted high and low for this thing. Do you think I could find it? Could I? Hell. Well, I'm afraid I thought the worst. I thought, where's it gone? Has someone stolen it? I mean, I wouldn't buy another one, but I was a bit not upset, but I really didn't want to lose it. And then today I was looking in a drawer that I would not have put this into. And there it was. I went, ah! And I've no idea how it's just turned up. I can only suppose it sort of disappeared into some sort of parallel universe, and till it decided to pop back up into this one, despite all my efforts. But quite amazing. And do you know what? As I'm getting older and older, this universe I'm on about tends to increase in rapidity. Oh dear.